Alright, what's good, y'all, man? So Adam Gorney with a bold take on Arch Manning as he becomes the new QB1 signal caller heading into next season for the Texas Longhorns. As y'all know, man, I'm glad to be back on TikTok. I can have my longer videos now instead of a minute 30. You know what I'm saying? That is not the move at all. Super excited for that, man. But a bold take right here. What do y'all think of Arch Manning overall? Now, obviously, Quinn Ewers is now obviously going to the NFL, obviously hit it and everything like that. But let's break down this quote in its totality. Adam Gorney, obviously an expert with Rivals. They cover high school football, they cover college, do a good job. Also connected with Yahoo Sports. Says, my prediction is this. Texas loses next season's opener against Ohio State. And the media has a field day with questions about Manning. And then the Longhorns run the table. We'll see about the Georgia game en route to another college football playoff run that ends with the title coming back to Austin. That is a bold prediction. You know what I'm saying, to say the least. All right, now here it is breaking down the schedule, basically what they got. Obviously, we'll do deeper dives when the season comes around and everything like that back in August, but I do want to just take a quick peek at this, right? So Ohio State, San Jose State, UTEP Miners, then they got a bye week, Sam Houston, Florida, Oklahoma, Kentucky, Mississippi State, Vanderbilt, another bye at Georgia. That'll be a tough game, obviously. And then obviously versus Texas A&M. So now the first part of the schedule is pretty light besides the Ohio State game, right? That's going to be pretty tough. But as we've seen this year with the college football playoff, right, you can have 2 losses and get in pretty much, right? A third, all just depends how everything gets managed around. Usually, if you're the SEC, you have a better, chance to do it. Now, obviously, this year they favored other teams. And like I said, rightfully so. You know what I'm saying? I thought SMU deserved to be in. I know they got beat pretty good. I know other teams deserve to be in. Yeah, I don't disagree with y'all. You know what I'm saying, nonetheless. But if you have 2 losses, let's say at worst, Georgia, Ohio State, right? You feel pretty good. Now, I do think Florida will be a better football team. And going to Gator Country is no easy feat to do. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, Ohio State's the toughest game. They should beat San Jose State, UTEP, Sam Houston. That big matchup for them is October 4th. That's the big matchup right there. Oklahoma Sooners with the Cotton Bowl. Obviously, it's a rivalry. Can never talk about that one enough. That one's played in Dallas. Have to see what happens there, but that's at a neutral site. But a pretty favorable schedule, I would say, overall, besides, obviously, Ohio State and Georgia. I would say the next toughest game will obviously be against Florida. So back to the quote. I could technically see media overreacting to the first game. Let's say he struggles, those 2 interceptions, 200 yards, and they lose, right? They'll probably say the ship is falling, the you know what I'm saying, the boat is falling. The ship has sailed, things like that. But nonetheless, if you're Arch Manning, you got your whole career. I think he'll be there for another 2 years, you know what I'm saying, at bare minimum. You're going to have the talent coming back, right? Matthew Golden, obviously, NFL, right? Isaiah Bond, NFL. But you got Ryan Wingo back another year. He'll be a sophomore, right? You got Jaime French, who's coming in now. You're going to have some guys to come in there with you where you feel pretty good. So, to the quote, I don't disagree. I think he can have them in peak position. To say it comes back to Austin, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because they losing a lot of guys. Now, you bring back Colin Simmons for another year. He'll be a sophomore. Had a phenomenal freshman season. Makuba, I think, is going to probably leave. I think Taff is coming back for another year. So that's obviously a great telltale sign. But you're going to lose some pieces on that defense. But obviously, as they do a good job, they're great at recruiting and bringing guys in. And they obviously use the portal as well. But I do think Arch Manning will be in that conversation. And obviously, he's an early Heisman pick as well, preseason pick to go as well before the season even starts. So I do think it's high expectations. I do believe he will get them to a college football playoff. And I think he can get them a little bit further. You know what I'm saying? Now, they had a good run this year. You know what I'm saying? Making it deep, being Arizona State. You know what I'm saying? Before they obviously lost to Ohio State. So I think they got a good chance, made the semis. I think they can go a game even further next year. But all depends on his progression and how far he can take this team as the first-year starter. Will be tough to see. We'll find out, man. But I do have confidence in Arch Manning. But it's going to be interesting to see how he navigates that SEC schedule and how good he plays. If he's top tier, he throws for over 30-plus touchdowns this year, 2,500 to 3,000 yards, I think you feel pretty good. I feel like he's made for the moment. I feel like he gets better in those big moments, and he could lead this Texas program back to those big ways. Now, they've been knocking on the doorstep a little bit the last few years with Quinn Ewers, right? Semifinals both years, just came up a little bit short. Now it's time to see if they can get over the hump. I do believe Arch is the guy to get them over the hump. But comment below. What's your thoughts on this quote? Can Arch Manning get this Texas Longhorn group over the hump and finally with a national championship? Comment below.